our biggest dreams and fondest memories are brought to life through the people that surround us. That quote is from me. That is your quote to start off this podcast. Hello, my name is Kayla, if you're new here, and if you're not, welcome back to the Creative Podcast. And today we're going to just be chatting it up, chatting like we're at a sleepover, like we're on FaceTime. We're just catching up, and it's going to be a real chill episode. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so first off, I want to start out by saying there are at least 13 of you listening, according to Anchor. There are 13 people who are constantly coming back and listening to these episodes, and I freaking appreciate all of you. Like, I know that doesn't seem like it's a lot of people, but if 13 of you were sitting in a room staring at me and listening to every single word that I said, then I would feel freaking lucky. So thank you so much for being here. And if you don't already, follow the podcast Instagram, rate it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, because then we can just grow this little community, okay, that we're forming here. And then there can be more of you all, and we can have more fun and engaging episodes where I ask you guys questions and you answer, or you send in advice questions, or whatever the case may be. I think it'd be really fun to have more of you all, but of course I'm super happy that the 13 of you that are listening are here in the first place. So today I'm not doing highs and lows, because this entire episode is just condensed highs and lows. Well, not condensed, actually. It's the long form of my highs and lows, just because I feel like just chatting it up, catching you all up on my life, on how I'm feeling about things, on things I'm learning, my mental health, my relationships, I'm just catching y'all up. I'm spilling the tea, because I didn't really feel like telling you all advice about anything today, or like teaching you guys anything, or giving any tips and tricks. I felt like it would just be nice for us to have a little chat together, like we're at a sleepover. I still don't know what I'm going to title this, but maybe something along those lines. So I'm going to start off with my to-dos for the week instead of my highs and lows. So I only have 2 to-dos. I probably have some more, but I'm not thinking of them right now. So my first one is to start celebrating my growth on all of my platforms. So if you don't know, I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, I have a Pinterest, and I have YouTube, and my podcast, of course. So I'm trying to learn how to be more appreciative of every single milestone, because I see all the girls post their little pictures with their cakes and their treats with like the 1K or the whatever, number that they hit. And it's not that the numbers matter so much. It's just the fact that they're even taking a moment to like celebrate and recognize that they have reached a milestone, and that they are growing a community and a bond with a certain group of people. I think I just haven't been very good at that in the past. Like, when I first started posting on Instagram and like doing my small business and everything, I like almost never truly celebrated the milestones. I would like post it on my story, and that was it. Like, I wouldn't personally celebrate it. So I'm trying to make more of an effort to personally celebrate my milestones. Like, about a month ago, I told you guys I hit 1K on TikTok. But I didn't do anything. I didn't like have a little cake or anything like that, I was just like, whatever, I hit 1K, I'm excited, woohoo, that's it. But I'm starting to want to like throw more of a party, because it's exciting, it's fun. 1,000 people want to hear what I have to say or find me entertaining, like that's freaking wild. I'd be insane not to be like happy that 1,000 people would want to hear what I have to say, So yeah, I want to do that. I want to celebrate all of my milestones. this week, you know, even if it's not an even number like 1K or 500 or whatever, you know. I just want to celebrate it in some way. Okay, and the last to do I want to do is finish reading my book. So, if you're watching the visual version of this, this is my book. It is called Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory. It's by the creator of BoJack Horseman. I found this at Barnes & Noble, and it was on sale, and I was like, shoot, why not? Seems like it could be an adventure. And it is. It's a bunch of short stories about love. And it's not even just like romantic love. It's platonic love. It's sisterly and brotherly love. I'm actually in a chapter about a dog. It's literally written from the perspective of a dog. I know, I've never read anything like it in my life, but I'm freaking enjoying it so far. It makes me laugh. Like, books rarely make me laugh. This book right here, it's funny. So if you're interested, you know, you can pick it up or find the audiobook of it somewhere, I'm sure. But I want to finish reading it because it's just so freaking good. And I've been slowing up on my reading lately. I just started listening to the Ugly Love audiobook by Colleen Hoover at work. But I feel like I'm even like trudging through that. And I can get through a good romance book, you know. I don't know what's going on. If you want to leave me book recommendations, you can DM me on the Instagram or comment on the post that I'm gonna make for this episode, because I feel like I kind of need them. I don't know, I feel like I'm in a reading slump. Okay, so that is the end of my to-dos for this week. Let's get into the rest of what I have to say about my life. Okay, the most boring thing that I can possibly say, I'm just going to get out of the way first. I don't know if you remember, but a couple weeks ago, I was mentioning how I just don't like to make appointments for myself and go to the doctor and stuff like that. But I finally made my annual checkup appointment, and I will be going to the doctor tomorrow. I know. It's very exciting news. It's so exciting. This is what my life has come to. I'm excited to go to the doctor, but the doctor is really important. And like, if you can go and have the opportunity to go, why not? Like, why not go to the doctor? Make sure that everything is in working order, because you never know when things can come up and go wrong with your body. So I'm very glad that I finally chose to do that. Yeah, that's my first high for this week. Second, I have been watching so much reality TV. I've been just eating it up. First off, I was finishing the latest season of Married at First Sight. If you don't know what Married at First Sight is, it's kind of self-explanatory. They pair these couples together and they literally get married the moment that they see each other. Okay, they meet each other at the altar, dressed up, families and everything there. It's a mess of a show, but I absolutely love it because I feel like there's so much that you can learn from watching people in that type of situation, like develop a love and a fondness for each other, or even just a friendship. And it's so cool to watch. I just freaking love it. I love that show. I love Married at First Sight. So I finished watching that, and the season was amazing. I loved all the couples that came out of it still together. Okay, the next show that I've been watching is The Ultimatum. I finally watched it. I feel like I'm a little late to this one because all the reality TV girlies probably already saw it, but I don't care. This show is crazy. Like, who in their right mind... Okay, to explain. Basically, people who are in relationships go on the show. One person gives an ultimatum. One out of the two people in the relationship give an ultimatum. You either marry me or we're no longer going to be together. That's what it is. So all of these couples come together and then they switch partners. They pick which partner they want to switch off with. They live with this partner for 3 weeks, this person that they don't know. And they act like a married couple. And then for the last 3 weeks of the experiment, then they go back with the person that they originally came on the show with. And then at the end, they have to figure out if they want to stay married. This is a show on Netflix. I could never. But it was just so interesting. I was at the edge of my seat. I really was. The drama was juicy. I have to say it. And I can't wait until the next season. I wish they put out seasons as quickly as Married at First Sight put out seasons, because I absolutely loved and adored this show, even though it was really crazy and toxic sometimes. But that's what makes reality TV so interesting. Anyway, I've been watching the Kardashians, the new Kardashians on Hulu, and I just like it. I tried watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians a couple of years ago, and it was like one of the later seasons. I didn't start at the beginning, and it was good. I just like couldn't really keep up with it, and I felt like it was like too many episodes and everything. But this newer one, you know, it's like their fresh start and everything's like different, or supposedly, and like, you know, it's a different type of setup. So I felt a little bit more comfortable going into watching this one, because it's like a new Kardashians, you know. I'm not like having to see old flashbacks and references from like 2008, you know, when they were filming, because it's just feels a little bit more refreshed. So I don't know, I've been liking it. I've been enjoying it. I'm only on episode 2, because I just watch it here and there, like at work when I'm bored or something. Well, not bored, but like when I'm at lunch. Gosh, I hope nobody at work is listening to this and thinks that I just watch the Kardashians all day. But anyways, yeah, Kardashians is a good show. And I am so excited. Love Island US is coming back in July, baby. It's coming back in July. I loved watching this show. I started watching it last year. I didn't watch the first season of Love Island US. Irrelevant. It was irrelevant. So I watched last year's season. And I don't know, it just gave me something to look forward to in the summer. Like, every single day you get a new episode, besides on the weekend. Every day you get a new episode. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Literally constant entertainment. And then you get to vote, and it's all happening in real time, and it's just like, it's so intense, and I love it, and the community of it is just amazing. I think that's what I like the most about reality TV shows. It's the community. Everybody else is like watching these people go through whatever they're going through, and we're all at the edge of the seat, and we're all gasping at the same time, and we're all like, oh my gosh. I don't know. It's just the community of it, I guess. But yeah, Love Island is coming back. I have not seen the UK version. I tried watching it, I think, and I just like didn't get through it. I don't know. People say the UK version is better, but I really freaking enjoyed the US. So we'll see. We'll see if I get around to watching that. So that's my little reality TV spiel. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you don't watch reality TV or like it, then you were probably repulsed and turned off the podcast. But that's okay, you know, that's okay. I understand. It's not everyone's cup of tea. So, okay, I have to tell you all a story. So, wait, I kind of wrote it down, so I'm gonna like paraphrase. Okay, so last weekend I went to a kind of fancier restaurant, okay? And at this fancy restaurant, I effed up in multiple departments. First off, I made the horrible choice of ordering grilled artichokes. I'm just like, grilled artichokes, that sounds good. That sounds fancy. Whatever, I'll try it, right? And if you don't know what that looks like, I'll post it on the podcast Instagram at Creative Podcast. I didn't know how to eat these artichokes. I took my fork and I just jammed it into a layer of the artichoke, and I threw it in my mouth. And you're not supposed to eat it like that. You're not supposed to eat the entire leaf of the artichoke. And I realized something was terribly wrong when I just could not chew it and swallow it. You know when something's tough and you're chewing, but it just like, it's not doing anything? It's not disintegrating in your mouth. It's not going anywhere. I don't know if disintegrating was the right word, but whatever. Yeah, that's what was happening with the artichoke. So at that moment, with it still in the corner of my mouth, I Googled how to eat an artichoke. And I Googled it at the table. Yes, I did. Apparently, you're supposed to take a leaf off of it. Just like pick it like a little flower, like it's a petal. And you're supposed to put it in your mouth and like peel the meat of the artichoke off with your teeth. So that's what I ended up doing. And it was good. It was fine. But then the waiter had to challenge me some more. The waiter came out with 2 warm towels on a plate. And at that moment, I felt like that scene in Shrek 2 where Shrek is like at Fiona's parents' house, you know, the castle, and they're at dinner and everyone else is like cleaning their hands with the water bowl and he's eating it with a spoon like soup. That's what I felt like at that restaurant. So I did, again, go to Google and I asked, when are you supposed to clean your hands with the towel? Because I wanted to use the towel right then and there, but I was like, I don't know what the rules and regulations are. Come to find out, you are supposed to use the warm towels to clean your hands right before your meal, kind of. So I decided to wait it out a little bit, you know. I needed to finish eating the artichoke and I still had to order my food, so I'm not really sure why the waiter brought it out that early. But whatever, you know, that's my experience at a fancy restaurant, and I decided to share it because, I don't know, if you ever feel out of place, just Google it, I guess. Just go to Google. Just Google how to do it, you know, go to the bathroom and Google it. If you're not comfortable with doing it at the table, because there's just so many weird things about being like rich and fancy that don't really make much sense to me. Like, why the towels? Like, why am I using, like, I don't know. It makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, why? And then why do you have to have certain rules for when you can and can't use the towels? And with the artichoke, it's like, why am I eating a plant with leaves this thick? Like, what? Why is that a thing? Why do people want to do that? Like, it's not easy to eat at all. And you barely get any substance off of it. It's like the tiniest layer of little green stuff on the artichoke, you know? And sure, it's a little tasty, but it's not anything outrageous. It's not curing cancer or saving the world or providing food for the hungry. It's just a tough little leaf that is kind of gross. But I will probably be having it again. So, yeah, that's the whole restaurant thing. That was fun. I have been kicking off my summer, though, with some of the things on my bucket list. You know, nights downtown, fancy little dinners, okay, dressing up, taking pictures, laughing, going out, having fun with other people. And even though I'm exhausted, I am so happy for my life right now. I'm happy for the life that I'm living right now. I'm happy and grateful for all the people that I have in my life that are like surrounding me and supporting me. And I don't know, like a few months ago, I was literally driving home from a social event And I was like boo-hoo crying, like sobbing, just saying, why don't I know how to grow connections with people? Why don't I know how to make friends? Why don't I know how to, like, just naturally form bonds with people and find community with people? But I just needed to stop beating up on myself, and it takes time to do those things, and it takes patience with yourself and with others. And yeah, so I'm happy that I'm at like a much better place now, whereas then I was like, oh, this is it, I'm just not ever gonna make any friends that are like super close to me, and like I'm never gonna know how to form bonds, the way that I need to form bonds. But that was the furthest thing from the truth, and I'm glad that I kind of figured out how to work through that. So yeah, here's to summer with my little water. Clink clink. Okay. Last high is something that I've been afraid to admit to myself, to other people, because I try and stay humble. So anytime anybody compliments me or is like, girl, you're gonna make it somewhere big in life, you're gonna do this, da, 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 I'm just like, oh, thank you, but I don't like affirm these beliefs, and I feel like it's been affecting me personally, because it's like I don't believe them, because I'm not affirming it. I'm not saying, yes, I am going to make it somewhere in life. You're right. I'm excited to make it. I'm excited to create big things that impact people. And I'm excited to, do whatever. It's just like, I kind of just take it and say thank you, and then like don't believe them. And then it just reflects on me and on the things that I'm creating and my work, because it's just like that imposter syndrome cloud is like hanging over me. So I want to start admitting to myself that I am special. Not like, I'm not even gonna try and like unpack that. I want to start believing that I'm talented, that I'm gifted in all of the ways that other people believe that I am. And I don't want to be so afraid of being conceited, like I feel like in other areas of my life, in my relationships, I've figured out, my confidence and my strengths, and I'm strong in them now and I'm firmer in them. And I feel like just with my creativity and my career and things along those lines of like, societal success, I feel like I've just like minimized how I look at that and not been as, I don't know, as affirming, like I said. So I want to continue to tell myself that I'm destined for greatness, that I'm not just like some ordinary Joe who's just like, oh yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being ordinary. I had to realize that there's nothing wrong to be, oh gosh, I can't talk. I had to realize that there's nothing wrong with being ordinary in order to even start embracing the fact that I'm extraordinary. I had to embrace the sides of me that are very ordinary, the sides of me that want ordinary things out of life, the sides of me that want to just have the small things and the little things and enjoy those moments and cherish them for myself. But at the same time, I know that my life isn't just going to be ordinary, and that the things that I do in my life are not going to just be ordinary. And it's taken me a while to like be okay with that, because I feel like in social media and everything, there's kind of a movement right now to just, have a soft life and like just enjoy being ordinary and enjoy, which is great, because people in this world, privilege is not something that everyone has. That's why it's privilege. So it's good to enjoy where you are, and it's good to enjoy what you have. But I know that that's not this, what I'm living right now, this ordinary is not where I'm stopping. So I don't know. I felt like that was really long winded, and hopefully that made sense. But yeah, I'm trying not to let some app, dictate my extraordinary abilities. Just because of the little video that I spent 10 seconds making goes viral doesn't mean that that's my extraordinary. That doesn't mean that's where the bar is for me. Like, a video of me sipping water, really? That's where the bar is set? Absolutely not. I have so much more to offer this world. And of course I'm grateful for, anything like that happening, because it leads more people to me and it grows my community. So then when I am ready to release bigger and better things in the world, other people will be there to see it and to enjoy it and to hopefully get and gain something from it, So of course, I'm happy that a video or two will go viral and everything, but it's not really about the numbers in that moment. I'm seeing it more so as, okay, this many people saw it this time, and this many people decided to actually follow me and stick around for the journey. And it's going to be exciting to have them there when I have something so much better to offer them. Like, that's the exciting thing for me. That's where my extraordinary is. When I can offer a group of people who have been there for me in that way something back. I don't know if that made any sense. But yeah, every day I wake up, I just know that I am special and that I'm gonna make it. Like, I watching the Genius documentary by Kanye West, I felt like I related to him a lot, like, and I hate saying this sounds so pretentious, I relate to Kanye West so much, but just the way that he talked about how passionate he was about music and the things that he did, and like just the way he was moving and like how he prioritized things. That's kind of similar to like how I feel about what I'm doing here, my podcast, everything that I make and put out on the internet. It's like, it's my baby, and I want it to thrive because I want to offer the world something that's healing, something that's positive, something that will bring joy or like connect with memories, like just thinking about it makes me want to like cry. I don't even know why I'm getting emotional, but yeah, I am excited for where things are going to go here. And I'm excited for where things are now, for sure. But I know it's not always going to be this small and intimate community, which is, gives me conflicting emotions, because I'm just sitting here talking to you all now, and I'm certain that there's 13 of you, but maybe one day there will be 13,000 of you, and then I'm just like, oh, 13,000, like, and I'm not limiting myself. So that's my highs. And I hope that you got something from what I said. I know I was talking a lot about myself and how I was feeling, but like maybe you can relate in some way. And if you want to be ordinary, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being ordinary. And there was a certain point where I felt like it would just be easier for me to be ordinary, and it would just be easier for me to choose living an ordinary life than walking the path of my destiny. But I know that if I choose an ordinary life, I'm not going to be happy, and I'm not going to feel fulfilled because I'm not doing what God set me on this earth to do, So yeah, that's it. But God can set you on this earth to do a lot of things. Like, God can set you on this earth to literally just be the person to bring a child into this world. Like, it can be something as simple and ordinary as that. If that's what it is, kudos. That's what it is. And I don't know, I feel like your purpose is not something that's just gonna like be in your face, and whatever it is, you have to be happy about it and you have to be grateful for it. Whatever your purposes are in this lifetime, you have to be grateful for them. You can't run away from them or try and hide from them, because it never turns out good. And you see how many people are just living boring, uninteresting lives that they hate because they are running away from themselves, and they're running away from their calling, and they're running away from what they've always dreamed of doing. And sure, sometimes it's for valid reasons, but most of the times it's just because we're always in our own way. So yeah, that got preachy. Moving on to the lows. Okay, so I've been struggling with people pleasing so much. And, this isn't something that's new. It's just, sometimes it's better than other times. And I don't even feel like talking about it that much anymore. I'm not really sure why I left it here in the notes. I feel like I talked about it last podcast. But yeah, people pleasing is still a thing in my life. I've been trying to continue to find balance in my work and my social life and my family life, because I don't know, I feel like there's never really a true balance. Like, you can never just across the board dedicate, even amounts of energy and even amounts of emotional time and effort and, all of that. It's never even. It's never even. It's always a little bit off and odd. And it's just me having to learn how to be okay with that. Ooh, I just said something. Oh my gosh. I just realized that came over me just now. Yeah. There's no balance really in life. You just have to be okay with things being uneven sometimes. And it's not such a negative and big thing as people make it out to be. People tell you that you have to balance things in life as if it's even possible. You can't. You can't do that. You can't equally give out the same amount of time and energy to your mother as you can to your boss at your job at the same time. It shifts and it moves with your day, with your week, with your month, with your year. The amount of time and energy that you can put into things shifts and flows. And it's not something to be balanced. And I have to learn that. I have to literally keep telling myself that. You can't possibly give your mom the same amount of attention that you're giving your work. You can't possibly give your friends the same amount of attention that you're giving your work all at the same time. You have to not learn how to compartmentalize, but learn how to just, one, be okay with things not being even and being selfish with your time and your energy. I'm talking to myself when I say you, because this is self-talk right now. This is self-therapy, okay? You have to, one, be okay with that, and two, just learn how to reallocate it and be okay with the way that you reallocate things. And, if sometimes things fall a little bit short and things don't work out in a certain area of my life, it's okay. I would beat up on myself so much if I started slipping up in my work, career-wise. If I started slipping up in my work because I decided to dedicate more time to family at the time, I'd just beat up on myself and be like, oh my gosh, like, girl, you can't do it all at once. You can't do it all at once. You cannot. Yeah. Like, just sometimes some things would be higher on the list than others. That's prioritizing. And gosh, that's something that I feel like I've struggled with forever, but I'm finally realizing that, like, you can't prioritize multiple things at once. You have to pick one and go with it. Oh, hard truth, hard reality. Okay. So, yeah, that's that. Oh my gosh. This suddenly turned from a sleepover to a therapy session. Next low. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm learning that even though I have a therapist, I still need a support system outside of therapy. I feel like for the longest time, I would just be like, oh, I need a therapist. Oh, I'll just talk to my therapist. I'll tell my therapist. I'll bottle all of these things up that are going on in my life and just, like, try and tell my therapist. And whatever I can't tell my therapist, oh, well, I guess just I'll never express it. You can't do that. Even if you have a therapist, you can't expect to be able to tell your therapist everything about your life. You know, there are certain boundaries that you have to set even with your therapist. Like, I don't talk about my romantic life with pretty much anyone outside of my friends. Like, I don't talk about it to my family. I don't talk about it to my therapist. Just my friends. My friends get to know the romance scene. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But my therapist gets to know things that are going on in work or things that are going on at home to a certain extent. You know, it's just like, I'm learning that I can't depend on my therapist for everything. Like, I have to talk to my friends. I have to talk to my family members, you know? This is something that I just realized recently. You know, sometimes when I'm feeling, like, down or sad, or I feel like I want to talk to someone, sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I'll tell my therapist, and then I'm like, but this isn't something I want to discuss with my therapist. Like, this isn't something that I want to bring up to her. So who do I tell? My friends or my family? Or God? So yeah, it's just like, your therapist is there, well, my therapist personally is there to provide me a listening ear and solutions. You know, your therapist isn't there to just listen all the time. Your therapist is also there to help you grow, develop, you know, find coping mechanisms, and move on throughout your life without difficulties, you know, that burden you and make it hard for you to live. That's what your therapist is there for. Your therapist isn't there to talk about your boy troubles all the time, you know, and, you know, it's just, it's not the type of thing. So, yeah, I recently realized that, and it's been really great to be able to lean on my friends a little bit more, to lean on my family a little bit more, and to kind of open up. I feel like I had to go through therapy to learn how to open up and talk to people about just how I'm feeling. Like, without therapy, I would not be able to talk to people about my feelings. Like, I literally would not. Like, therapy over the years has helped me so much. Don't even get me started. I will not get on my high horse about therapy right now. But, yeah, your therapist isn't for everything. And I'm still working on pushing myself to ask for that support from my friends and family when I need it. I feel like sometimes I kind of just wait for them to ask because I don't want to bother them. Like, I'll wait for my friends to be like, how are you guys doing? Instead of just saying, hey guys, you know, this and this is going on. Like, any thoughts, you know, any tips, any support that you can offer, like, would be helpful. I'm just very bad about, like, asking for help. But we're working on it. So, the final thing of my lows is, okay, I was listening to this YouTube video the other day. I'm not going to name the person, but basically what they were saying was, it was just the most watered down advice for content creators. They were saying that if you show up as your authentic self online consistently, then basically your community is just going to fall into your lap. And all of your dreams are going to come true, and you're going to go fly off into the sunset on your unicorn with a flock of butterflies. And I could not be more, ticked off about this, because it's just, this is why it's a low. And I'm not sure if I'm right to be ticked off about this, or if it's just like a matter of opinion. I don't know. But that's just not how it works in my eyes. Like, you don't develop a community of people overnight. Like, do you know how long it takes for a city to grow? And some cities literally never grow. Some cities stay small. Like, I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, online communities are very similar to cities. Like, there are millions of cities in this world, but they are of different sizes. They all look different. They all have different architecture. They all have different people, different languages, different, like, cities and towns all look different. So they all come about in different ways. And I feel like someone with thousands of followers should not be irresponsibly telling their followers or subscribers, just show up as yourself and be consistent. You'll make it. That's like giving somebody a hammer and a screwdriver and saying, okay, go build your community. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it just makes me upset. Like, it takes more than that. First of all, you need a support system to back you while you're building a community. Second of all, you need resources to build a community. You're not just going to make it appear out of thin air, If you want an online community, then you need a camera most of the time, or some kind of microphone, or a phone. It's just like, it makes me upset to hear things like that. Because it's from a place of, oh, I have a community now, so, I'll give the most mediocre advice ever and not really give you anything of value. But buy my ebook, sign up for my email list, buy my course so you can learn how to be so you can learn how to be a content creator. Like, give me a break. If you're gonna sit down and title your video my secrets or my tips of how to be a content creator, and then tell people be yourself and post consistently, why are you uploading that? Like, why are you uploading that? It's different if you're doing a quick little TikTok or a quick little reel and you're just blurting out a couple things. That's different. You're sitting down, you're recording a whole YouTube video and basically providing no value. I can never understand that. And I feel like I've been a little bit harder on myself about like providing value with what I make and what I talk about lately, because I see like the shift in people's perspective of content creators. People are no longer just looking to content creators and saying, oh, I'll follow them because they make cute vlogs. People don't want to see that anymore. People want to see something of value. People want to learn something. People want to have something to inspire them, or you give them something to look forward to. It's just like, I don't know. I've been really annoyed at the internet and just how watered down things are becoming, and just how watered down creators are becoming. And the fact that the more watered down people are, the more of a following they have. And this following might not be a real community. It might just be a bunch of people just flocking to them because God knows why. But it's not valuable. It's not valuable. I want to make things that are valuable. If I'm going to sit down and make a YouTube video and title it How to Be a Content Creator, I'm going to give you valuable advice, not be yourself and post consistently. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's very 2018. It's very 2016. Like, we don't need that type of advice anymore. We got it. Post consistently. We understand, okay? We know how an algorithm works. Like, we've literally been doing this social media thing for over 10 years now. Okay, we know how it works. I don't know. It's whatever. But anyways, that is the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it. I just felt like, to be frank, shooting the shit, just talking, just running my mouth and telling you all how I feel about different things and where my head has been at and all of the things going on in my little brain and in my little world, as much as I want to share, because we still have boundaries over here. Okay. But yeah. Never forget to share this podcast with a friend. Rate it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, like I said at the beginning of the episode. And I will see you all in the next one. Well, not see you. What? Okay, whatever. Don't be a stranger. Bye!